Hi, y'all. Welcome to Ask Granny. Granny Angie here with your kind, loving, and gentle, most of the time, advice and ideas on life, love, and fun and happiness and things like that. Today, we're talking about family stuff again. Yeah, that family stuff is tricky. I got a question, and instead of just reading the question, I am going to try to summarize a little bit. It's quite long and has some details that probably aren't necessary. We've got an instance where a family member is worried about two other family members and whether or not they're going to get along or be friends or have a relationship in the future because of differences in beliefs. We'll just say that. I the one thing the question turned out to be was, should I say something or should I stay out of it? The simple answer to that is you probably just, don't step in other people's doo-doo. That's my thing. If it's not something you should be in control of, don't try to control it. Um, Family relationships are so tricky. I am not the kind of person, some of you know already, that I'm not the kind of person that thinks family is perfect and you have to forgive and forget everything that family does and that family trumps other relationships. Blood is thicker than water means pretty much diddly to me. But truth known, I may not be friendly or close to my family members, but I also know that they love me and I love them back. And if I needed them, they would come if I called. And so you want to make sure you cultivate that for the sense of family. Put yourself in the other person's position. If you don't want to do something that makes you uncomfortable, you wouldn't want someone coercing you into that. So if it's going to make them uncomfortable to be around each other, just don't. I mean, let them work it out their way. That's my simple answer. Uh, there's going to be agreement and disagreement with most of what comes out of my mouth, and I'm not too worried about that because this is just me giving my opinions. I do think that sisters should at least try to communicate always. Don't just cut them off. I think that's kind of harsh because, birth to death, that's probably the closest relative you're going to have the longest. And I probably should have a better relationship with my sister. It's really hard. We think very differently. I don't particularly care what she believes, and she cares a lot what I believe. So it's kind of out of balance, and that's why we don't communicate very well, because she wants to convince me that I'm wrong, which is, you know, I don't care if she's wrong. She can be wrong. You can be right, wrong, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, and definitely don't be hurting yourself, then it shouldn't matter to anybody else what you think. Um, there's got to be uh, uh, boundaries. Boundaries, people, boundaries, even in family relationships. You have to only be willing to take so much from people, regardless of whether they share DNA with you or not. Uh, wow. There's a lot to unpack in this one. Uh, I'm still looking at it. There's a spot that says here, is there a way to strengthen their connection, or is it better to let them drift apart? It's really better to let them do whatever's going to come. You need to sometimes understand you can't control everything. Sometimes you can't control anything, especially when it comes to other people. Don't don't worry. Whatever happens is going to happen, whether you worry about it or not. So why waste the energy and the brain destruction and the horrible chemicals and the stress hormones that come with worrying for something you can't really and probably shouldn't really be trying to be in control of. um, I looking here at the end. Do you think we could use the virus scare to spare feelings? I'm really not sure what you mean by that. Only because I don't want to consider it as the virus scare, because if you're smart and you're careful and you're a little bit lucky, you probably will not get the coronavirus. It is definitely worse in some places other than where I am. There are a couple of cases here in my state, but nothing that didn't, I think, come from traveling somewhere else. So I don't think anybody should panic or be truly freaked out. Just be clean, like clean your stuff and clean yourself and wash your hands and things like that. Oh, and you know what? This doesn't have anything to do with coronavirus, but this is a pet thing of mine. Floss your teeth. You don't have to get all in there with the messy bit of string. You can buy the little flosser pick thingies that go in there. Stop using toothpicks. I mean, it's like trying to pull a splinter with a 2x4. I mean, just stop trying to stick wood between your teeth and gums. It's not healthy. Get you some little flossers, and trust me, especially if you are having trouble with bad breath. I know this is so completely off the subject. It's because you have rotting, funky ass food between your teeth. Get it out of there. Get it out. Brush your teeth. Floss your teeth. Even if you're missing some, go and get on the side of it there, because stuff just sticks up in the gums, and that will, unless you got a really bad rotted place, that should fix whatever bad breath troubles you have. Okay, so there's my hygiene tip for today. I'm sorry. It's not that funny, but sometimes it's hard for me to get my feelings out through the camera in a coherent line. And this is what happens, especially when I'm looking between two screens. I'm not seeing myself in the camera right now. Oh, hello. There I am. I say a lot, but at least I stopped doing the sucking the teeth thing. I'm sorry about that in some of my earlier videos. I noticed when I was watching the other day, I was like, oh, girl, why you suck on your teeth like that? Stop doing that. So I'm trying really hard not to do such things. There's got to be more to it than that, Ange. You really do. I'm supposed to try to go longer than 10 minutes this time, and sometimes it's really hard. Saying things I oversimplify because I thought about it so long and hard that I've tried to, boil it down a little bit into the syrup and the sugar at the bottom. But it's hard to do, family, and especially if you have difficult family members. I think it shouldn't matter what you believe when it comes to someone you love. It's okay to have different opinions. It's okay to have different beliefs. It's okay to, think different things. It's not okay to hurt other people because of what you think or what you believe. It's not okay to impose your will or your wishes or your thoughts on other people unless it's asked for. I don't know how many times I have to keep going over this. I still don't know what I'm going to call this video. Okay, so I'm not supposed to be working out my mental troubles on camera, but, new medication seems to be working, so I'm not riding the roller coaster as hard as I was, which is actually pretty cool. I'm happy. Keep taking it. Keep going. Don't stop now. Happy to have everybody here watching. I would like some questions from you guys, please. I'm really serious about this. I want to know, how would you pick my brain? Just because I'm curious. If anybody really wants to know what I think, you can reach me on Twitter. All my links are below. at Diva with 5 H's on Twitter. On Twitter, I have a Patreon if you want to go there. It's still kind of slow over there, but I'm learning how to do the Patreon thing too, and sometimes I even remember to post stuff over there. Please send me your questions. Tell me what you think about my videos. If there's something else you'd like to see on the channel, just, hey, shout it out. I'm almost game for just about anything. I'm looking for new ideas and new information. I made it past 10. Y'all don't want to hear me talk about that. I love you. If you're here watching this, thank you. Have a great day, afternoon, evening, night time, sweet dreams, whatever it is, wherever it is you are. And let's all be friends. And peace, love, and rock and roll, y'all.